Why, hello there. Sorry, I'm testing out new software. So there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. But welcome back. Welcome back to Disney Marvel's podcast, The Live Show. The show that is made by fans for the fans. And that's you. Thank you again for joining me. Hope everyone's summer is going well. It's again, like I said, this is a bit of a learning curve. Back into the horse doing live shows. I hope everyone's doing well. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. I don't know how many of these I'll be able to do, but whatever we get to do, we'll do. And I look forward to participating with you guys, whether it be live on the stream, or if you're listening to this on the audio feeds later in the week. Either way, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. We are happy to have you here. So got a few things I wanted to talk about. We have Tiana's Bayou Adventure was announced, officially given the name of what Splash Mountain will be. Will be formerly known as Splash Mountain. Now soon to be known as Tiana's Bayou Adventure. That will be coming to us soon. We'll talk a little bit about that. We have some more information on Tron. And today is also Tron's 40th anniversary. This is Saturday, July 9th. 40 years ago, Tron came out. My goodness. Where has the time gone? And to think cinematically what that movie has meant, despite the fact that it wasn't the huge box office success. Eventually got a sequel to it decades later. And then we also we're getting attractions. We're supposed to have stuff from attractions and be integrated into the parks a while ago. But that didn't happen. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And I just have a few updates about the show itself that we will discuss. And any questions that you guys have, put them in the chat. Let us know you're here. Let us know. Let us know you're here. Say hi. Let us know where you're watching from. So first off, let's talk Tiana. So they're announcing it to be Tiana's Bayou Adventure. This will be the new name, replacing Splash Mountain. The Splash Mountain, apparently from what I heard, is they wanted that to be part of the title. They fought to try and keep that in the title, and they just couldn't make it work. No one agreed upon the name. This is the name, according to Jim Hill, that was one of the highest rated in the test and the focus groups. This is the name that was picked. This was the one that did the best in focus groups. So that's why they want Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Eventually, I will get that right. Eventually, we will all get that right. It's not necessarily going to be the easiest thing to say. It doesn't roll off the tongue like Splash Mountain. But we'll get used to it. It will pick up. We'll be good. No problems there. It is. So they're saying late 2024, late 2004 is when this will be opening. I want to know from you, because I have my opinion on it. But I want to know from you. Is that a realistic timeline? Not only is it going to be late 2024 for Walt Disney World, it's late 2024 for Disneyland as well. So do you think they can pull this off? It's only those two parks are getting switched out for now. It's only those two parks not happening in Tokyo. Tokyo said no. We're leaving it as it is. We don't see a problem, and therefore we are just leaving it alone. People like this attraction. It does really well. Why are we going to mess with it? Fair enough. So 2024. I'm curious because we know the speed that Disney before the pandemic, the speed that Disney worked at was Leisurely. I'll be nice and called leisurely. Since the pandemic, and there's a shortage of construction workers and builders and fabricators and all that. Things have been slowing down substantially. Now, it does seem like production is picking up. Now that Guardians is built, the stuff in the center, the Journey of Water is finally making some good progress. That should be opening soon. In Epcot, you have the new Communicore building slowly taking shape. So that's picking up. Tron is still in the works. And that's also making progress. So you have a lot more focus that can be put into Splash Mountain. They're not closing it just yet. They have an announcement they're closing it. Assumptions are D23 is when we will find out when the Splash Mountain will be closing down for its lengthy and substantial refurb. My guess, it'll be soon. It's going to be really soon. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't the end of this year. And it'll be shut down for probably 18 months. At least. I mean, I think that's what Disney's looking at. At least an 18-20 month shutdown. If it shuts down shortly after the 50th anniversary celebrations end, which will be December. We should see it come. It's going to be coming soon, and I'm sure they're going to do it up. I'm sure they're going to make a big deal, just like they did with the Illuminations. Whenever that closed down, whenever they stopped showing the Illumination show in Epcot. There's merchandise, there was hoopla, there was they made a deal about it. And they probably and I could far be it for Disney to pass up on a marketing opportunity, market and sell merchandise and a farewell type of tour for Splash Mountain. They'll put the countdown on. And that's when it will close officially. It will close officially. The Last Riders and after the Last Riders and big hoopla is done. This whole big hoopla is done. That's a guess. Give it 2-3 months probably. That's a guess. Then they'll shut down, and then they'll shut down, go in and start stripping out the Song of the South characters, stripping out the Song of the South characters, the American Sings characters, and start putting what will be Tiana's. Now, something that we have to keep in mind here. They're not having to rebuild the ride system. They're not having to rebuild the ride system. Frozen. Think about when they redid Frozen. To become Frozen. Or Maelstrom. They had to redo the ride system a little bit. They had extended the track and they reshaped the direction that the vehicles went in the same direction. They extended the track in the same direction. They extended the track and they rechanged the layout. Then did also the overlay. So that took a little more time. From my understanding, with this, and they're already starting to prefabricate, and they're already starting to pre-animatronic characters. The animatronic Why is that important? Because that saves Why time. Is that important? Because that's a lot of effort they don't have to put into this. That's a lot of effort they don't have to put into animatronic characters. Now, much like our Yeti, characters are built much like our Yeti, so are that built as a little problematic. So that becomes a little problematic. Going to have to switch out. How much are they actually going to have to switch out? I don't know. Is the riverboat staying? I don't know. Is the riverboat in there? The riverboat would fit perfectly in there. It goes with the storyline. I can see the riverboat staying. Storyline. I can see the element they don't have to touch. One huge element they don't have to touch. They put on new skins and put off of it, and they put on new skins and put on new characters. I wouldn't also be surprised if some of those characters remain, especially the American Sings characters at the end. Especially the American Sings characters at the end are relatively generic. Those are relatively generic. They're not exact. They're not part of Song of the South. They're not part of Song of the South. They're part of the United States from the bicentennial of the United States in 1976. These things could stick around. But will they? We'll see. But will they? They could possibly just go and clean house. They could possibly just go and clean house, put all new things. You're not gonna have a rabbit burrow and you're not gonna have a rabbit burrow and briar patch. But I can't see them changing it drastically. Take out Brer Bear. They're gonna put in Lewis. Take out Brer Bear. They're gonna put in Lewis. Another take out this character and then put in. We will be seeing new characters that we haven't seen before. New characters that we haven't seen before. Strangely enough, time frame. By the time this ride opens. We're going to get a Tiana show on Tiana show. Why is this important? Because why is this important? You can introduce new elements. You can introduce new elements into the story. Into the fabric of the Tiana, into the Tiana Princess and the Frog storyline. The Princess and the Frog. You can bring in new characters. You can bring in new. You can bring in new characters. You can bring in new characters. You can bring in new stuff and story parts. You can bring in new stuff and story parts. The outfit that Tiana is wearing. The outfit that Tiana is wearing. A very fancy. Which is a pants and a nice top. She's got pants and a nice top. Not something that we saw her wearing. Not something that we saw her wearing. Princess and the Frog in. She'll be Princess and the Frog. She'll be wearing series possibly. Disney this will be translated into something that will be translated into Tiana's Bayou Adventure. In Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So we got a lot of things that we don't know. All we know is we don't know. What all we know is so far. What we have seen so far. Princess and the Frog. Princess and the Frog. And this ride takes place after that. It's after the wedding. Takes place after that. It's after the wedding. So we got a lot of stuff that we will be learning. We'll be seeing a lot of stuff that we will be learning. We'll be seeing soon. That being said, again, I think the 2024. Not that it's 2024. Particularly since they said late, and they didn't specifically say when. On the ambitious side. On the ambitious Disney wants to get it open. I know Disney wants to get it open, but we'll see. I know they're in kind of a bind. I know they're in kind of a bind. Else new. They don't really have anything else new on that they've announced yet. D23 is right around the corner, so we could be getting D23 is right around the corner, so we could be getting a lot of information that we had no clue was coming before, and that we had no clue was coming. But this will be happening. And because also their neighbors are doing something relatively big that Disney has not done in over 20 years. Disney has not done in over 20 years. And that's opening a theme park. Not that I'm saying Disney needs to open a fifth gate. Not yet, but they need something. They need something. And they need something. And we got Tron, and then we got nothing. We got Tron. And then we Tiana, that is Tiana, what's next. That is speaking of next. Tron. As I said earlier, 40th anniversary of the show. 40th anniversary of the show. 40th anniversary of the movie. 40th anniversary of the movie. I remember when I was younger. I remember when I was taking movies out of the library. Yes, libraries. Taking movies out of the library. Yes, libraries. Books. They had videotapes occasionally. Books. You had videotapes occasionally. You give them back. You didn't have to pay anything. You give them back. You didn't have to pay anything. That's how you. It was wonderful. Got your books. How you not you create additional books on your bookshelf. Create additional books. Someone will actually let you take the book. Bring it home. Actually let you take the book. Bring it back to them. Bring it home for free. Read it and bring it back to them. I know. For free. Physical books. Strange concept. I know. Physical books. But they also had VHS tapes. They also had VHS tapes. Don't get me started on that one. But yes, VHS tapes. Don't get me started on that one. But yes, VHS tapes. I would. That's how I saw a lot of. I would sit down. I'd go to the library. I wasn't much of a book reader as a kid. I wasn't much of a book reader as a kid. I would go and. But I would go and pick out movies. Mostly Disney movies, strangely enough. Mostly Disney movies, strangely enough. Me being a Disney person. Who figured? Me being a Disney person. But I would get the... one of the ones I would... But I would get the... One of the ones I really enjoyed was Tron. I really enjoyed watching that. It was the first CGI movie to have CGI graphics incorporated into it. You look back and you go, "Ooh, those." You look back and you go, "Ooh, rough-looking graphics." That was considering the time, something that really hadn't considering been done. The time, something that really hadn't been done. Almost, especially over that extent, almost majority of the movie. This was something that was groundbreaking for the time. Was groundbreaking for the time. Look where we have come. Look where we have come with computer-generated graphics. Look where we have come with computer-generated graphics. A lot of the movies 60-70%, particularly the action, the big blockbuster, particularly the action, the big blockbuster, 60-70% computer-generated graphics, 60-70% computer-generated graphics. Thor: Love and Thunder. Think how much Thor: Love and computer-generated graphics are in that. Computer-generated graphics Kenobi, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Kenobi, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Just about everything is computer. Besides, just about everything. The actors, besides set pieces. The actors and some set pieces. Planets. They weren't walking around in deserts. They were walking around in front of a video screen. They were walking around in front of a video screen. Computer-generated graphics. Of computer-generated graphics. It's that kind of stuff. It's that kind of stuff. That's where we go into Tron now. So eventually we got the Tron Legacy movie. The new attraction. So eventually we got the Tron Legacy movie. Today they just put up a new picture. The new attraction. They're testing it. They announced they're still testing the ride vehicles. They're testing the lights on now. They're still testing the ride vehicles. Not just the lights. They're testing the lights for the attraction inside and on the vehicle, but the canopy for the testing for the attraction inside. Everything is being tested and worked on. They're testing everything. Excuse me a second. Everything is being tested and worked on. Excuse me a second. That's good water. That's good water. They released a picture of the ride vehicle. They released the outside part with the canopy ride vehicle all lit up in the outside part, and they had a little the canopy PR press release all lit up on the Disney blogs. And they had a little let me read this PR press release on the Disney blogs. Imagineer Chris, let me read this to you. This is Chris Betty saying, Imagineer Chris. Our story picks up following the events of Tron Legacy. Whose main character picks up following the events of Tron Legacy. Is now opening new gateways into the digital realm. Is now opening new gateways into the digital realm around the world. As specific locations at specific locations around the world. In or at first Shanghai Disneyland with the original Tron Life Cycle Shanghai Disneyland. With the original Tron Life Cycle Magic Kingdom guests will get their turn through this. And now the Magic Kingdom guests will get their turn when you enter the attractions queue. You'll feel as if you're digitized. When you enter the attractions entering the grid, you'll feel as if you're digitized alongside your family entering the grid for a special light cycle race alongside your family and friends. The wheels and the you all joined Team Blue. I just described the wheels in the photo above, which was for a high-speed launch into a competition against Team Orange. For a high-speed launch into a competition against Team Orange around the course. As your goal is to be the first to race through the 8 your goal is to be the secure your victory. Race through will your team have what and secure your victory? Will your team have what it takes? So that's from Imaginary Chris Petty. So that's from Imaginary Chris Petty. So it takes place after Tron Legacy, as we know. And look at the designs. So it takes place after Tron Legacy, the light cycles of the original Tron. Look at the designs. It's not the light cycles of the original Tron movie from the more modern ones from Tron Legacy. It is the more modern ones. My guess it takes place probably around. May even be after. My guess it takes place probably around the animated after. Tron Uprising, the animated series. I've been actually starting to watch on Disney Tron Uprising, and which I've been actually starting to watch on. We only just got the one season out of it. It's so far it's been pretty good. Kind of cut short. We only just got the one season out of it because it was supposed to be the kind of cut short. That's kind of unfortunate. Into it was supposed to be the third Tron movie. Bridge. Rumors had it into the third Tron movie. Don't know. Rumors had it. See, getting it. Look how long it took us to get. Don't know. Legacy, the second one. I just showed that to my kids. How long it took us to get. I just showed my kids Tron Legacy. I just showed that to my kids Legacy recently. I just showed my kids Tron Legacy. Not sure how it would go over recently. I didn't show them the original Tron. Not sure how it would go over. And I was debating if I should. I didn't show them the original Tron. So I was debating if I should. I went ahead and showed them Tron Legacy, and so they liked it. I went ahead and showed them Tron Legacy, and now I can go back and show them the original Tron. They were actually intrigued by it. Now I can go back and show them the original Tron. According to my daughter, it may hurt her eyes because of the graphics and how bad they were. According to my daughter, it may hurt her eyes because of the graphics and how bad they were. I don't think they're that bad. I think they'll be acceptable. I think the kids might like it. It's a little slower pace. I think they'll be acceptable. I think the kids might like it. It's a little slower pace. but
a little slower
for what
pace,
it is,
the action is as grandiose.
I always liked it, but for what it is,
it's enjoyable.
I always liked it, but I grew up with it. That's
it's a different perspective.
The ride,
we should be hearing more also again from D23.
We should be hearing more also. They're pouring a lot more concrete. They're pouring a lot more. They're pouring a lot more concrete. They're pouring a lot more.
The train tunnel looks
foundation.
To be done.
Well, the foundation's pretty much done.
The tracks are late.
The train tunnel looks to be done.
And the tracks are late.
That's what I'm
building up the marquee. They're creating more of the path, the walkway.
That's
building up the marquee. They're creating more of the path, the walkway.
Building the ride.
Really just
all that is done.
That's the
they're
big
working
work.
on now. The building, the ride.
Now
all
it's just
that
finishing
is done.
up.
That's
the
big
outside stuff.
Now I'm not saying they're going to pull
the
Disneyland
stuff
and open with.
I'm not saying they're going to pull
everyone's shoes
Disneyland
and open with
as they're walking
to the attraction.
Everyone's shoes.
That's not going to happen.
As they're walking to
they're
going to
make sure everything is set and done.
That's not going to happen.
Is it possible?
They're going to make sure everything is
set
within the
and done.
realm of possibility.
Is it possible
that Tron still open?
Is it within the realm of possibility
that Tron
it's
still
not
opens
impossible.
This year?
But let's think
It's
what they
not
got going
impossible.
on. You have
Basically, Tron.
let's think what they got going on. You have
basically
Adventures
Tron
of Water
and the
are in a race with each other.
Moana.
So far, I want to
Adventures
say
of
Tron is
Water
winning.
are in a race with
But
each
Moana's is
other.
the so far I
simpler
want to say Tron
thing.
is winning,
right?
but Moana's is the simpler thing.
Basically, a bunch of rock structure with some plant life around it, and redirecting
basically a bunch of rock structure
with some plant life around it,
some water
and as it splashes
redirecting
a water pipe.
Not really that
Or some
intricate.
water as it
No
splashes.
safety
along.
testing. No,
Not really that
intricate.
The safety
No safety
testing.
testing,
Let's
no,
be
you know,
honest. Some safety testing.
No real
safety testing and everything,
craziness.
let's be honest.
It is a much
No
simpler
real craziness
attraction.
It is
quote,
a
unquote,
much
to open
simpler than, say, a roller coaster.
attraction.
The roller coaster's
quote
built.
unquote,
roller
to
coaster's
open
being tested.
than,
The
say, a
roller
roller
coaster's
coaster.
being run.
The roller coaster's built.
The roller coaster's
So,
being tested. The roller coaster's
who's going to
being
win this?
run.
Because Tiana.
So,
Not Tiana.
Ooh, I'm still
Who's
on.
going to win this?
Tiana's
Because
Bayou Adventure of Splash Mountain.
Tiana.
Not Tiana. I'm
The
still on.
Moana Adventure
Tiana's
of Water
Bayou Adventure of Splash Mountain.
is the
framework is
Moana
being built.
Adventure of Water.
But they still have
is
the pathways to build. They still
the
have
framework
a lot of
is
the
being built.
Rock
But
they still
work
have
to create
the
in
pathways to
to
build. They still have
even
a lot
if
of
the
rock
communicore
work
building
to
isn't
create,
done yet,
and
they
do not have to open
even
at the same
if
time. and
the
they probably won't
communicore
open
building
at the same
isn't
time.
done yet.
Which
And
one do you?
they do
open
not have to
first?
open
at the same time. And
We've
they
already
probably
had
won't
Guardians of the
open at the same
Galaxy
time.
in
Which
Epcot
one do you
open
open first?
So
We've
that
already
one
had
is
Guardians
done.
of the Galaxy in Epcot.
And that's a big shiny thing for Epcot.
So
Do
that
you
one
open
is
another
another brand new attraction.
And that's a big
or a
shiny
smaller
thing for
but new
Epcot.
attraction in
Do you
Epcot.
open
another brand new attraction
and then save the
big
or a
one
smaller
for the Magic
but
Kingdom
new attraction in
for
Epcot
next year?
and then save the
Or do
big
you
one
open the
for
one in the
Magic
Magic
Kingdom
Kingdom
this year
for next year?
towards the end,
And they'll
or do
carry
you
into
open the
next
one
year.
in the Magic Kingdom this year
and then do
towards the end,
and
Moana's
they'll carry into
next year
as part
and
of
then
just
do
to keep people
Moana's next
to
year
filter people out
as
of
part of just to
out of
keep
the Magic
people
Kingdom.
as I'm saying this
To filter people
got me
out
thinking.
of
so you're
out of
gonna
the
have
Magic
Splash
Kingdom. As
Mountain
I'm saying
shut
this.
down. You got me thinking.
So that is a big
So
loss
you're
for the
gonna have
Magic
Splash
Kingdom.
Mountain shut down.
People need to go somewhere.
So
People are
that
still going to be going
is
to the
a
Magic
big
Kingdom. But
loss for
that's
the
one less
Magic
thing for
Kingdom.
them to do in the Magic Kingdom. People need to go somewhere.
Enter
People are still going to be going to the
Tron
Magic Kingdom, but
Light
that's one
Cycle
less
Power
thing for
Run.
them to do in the Magic Kingdom.
Enter.
You have a
Tron
new thing
Light
to
Cycle
draw
Power
people.
Run.
Now, granted, you're shifting the gravity of the park instead
You
of
have a
going
new
thing to
into
draw people. Now,
Frontierland.
granted, you're shifting
gonna
the
be now
gravity of
going
the
over
park
to
instead of
Tomorrowland
going into Frontierland.
going to
They're
Tron.
going to be now going over to Tomorrowland. And
So what are the
going to
chances
Tron.
that
Tron and Splash
So
Mountain
what are the chances
opening
that
and closing, respectively,
Tron
are going to be
and
somewhat
Splash
connected and
Mountain's
linked. Opening and closing, respectively,
That's got me thinking.
are going to be somewhat connected and linked. Which makes me also wonder,
That's got
okay,
me thinking.
that makes it more likely we see...
Which makes me also wonder. Okay,
Journey of Water. That makes it
Oh, the
more
Adventure
likely
Waters, Journey of
we
Water.
see open
Possibly
Journey of
this
Water.
year?
It would open
Oh,
before
the
Tron.
Adventure Waters, Journey of Water.
Kind of makes sense.
Open possibly this
But I'm
year.
not putting
Would
money on
open
anything.
before Tron.
I don't know. I know nothing. No
Kinda
one's
makes
told me
sense.
anything. But I'm not putting money on anything.
It's all pure speculation, but food for thought.
No one's told me anything,
and I want to know what
but
you think.
it's all pure speculation, but food
Which
for
one's
thought.
going to get the
Food
grand
for thought.
and I
Which
want
one's
to know
going
what
to get
you're
the first opening?
What your thoughts?
Journey of Water.
Which
or
one's
Tron?
going to get the grand? Which one's going to get the
This
first
year,
opening?
next year?
Journey of Water or
Either
Tron?
way, they're going to be relatively close to
And
each
when?
other. This year, next year?
So we shall see.
Either way, they're going to be relatively close to each
Now,
other.
as far as the show notes or news about the show,
shall see.
So obviously,
Now, as
live
far
shows
as
back
the
on.
show
You can
notes,
see
we have a new
news about the show.
had a new logo.
So obviously,
For
live
the
shows
live
back
show.
on.
I
You
will
can
actually
see
have merchandise.
we have
for
a
the
new
logo coming
had
out
a new logo
this week
for the live show.
I will actually
be
have
on the lookout
merchandise
for
the new logo coming
nice,
out
some
this week.
T-shirts and
So
be on the
certain
lookout
things, some
for it.
hoodies. Should be nice.
Nothing too
some
lavish.
T-shirts
Nothing too crazy.
but certain things, some hoodies.
Some nice stuff to
Nothing too lavish.
You can get yourself
nothing too crazy.
again.
But
You get yourself something.
some nice stuff to
Nice.
you can get
Excuse me.
yourself some nice
Again,
clothing to wear, some nice
you get
shirts,
yourself
some nice hoodies,
something.
whatever. Some nice
Good quality stuff.
Excuse me,
from our
some nice
shop.
clothing to wear, some
Helps
nice shirts,
the show
some nice
out.
hoodies,
Helps
whatever.
us out on the show.
Good quality
and
stuff.
you get something
from
out
our
of it, too.
shop. So that's something
Helps the show out.
That's
Helps
a good
us
thing
out
on
on
the
the
show.
show.
Always got sales going
And
on.
you get
over
something out of it,
Shops
too.
through T
So
Public.
that's something,
Always having sales.
That's a good thing to go. And they always got sales
Look for
going
the
on
sales.
over the
Help
shops through
yourself
T
out.
Public.
Get yourself
always
some-
having sales.
some clothes. And
Look for
support
the
your
sales.
your
Help
podcast,
yourself out.
favorite
Get
podcast
yourself
while you're at
some-
it. Some clothes.
The Facebook
support
page
your-
is back
Your podcast
after
favorite
a
podcast
long
while you're at it.
hiatus. The Facebook
and
page is back
much
after a long
disgruntled
hiatus.
feelings towards Facebook
and
on my behalf.
Much
The Facebook page
disgruntled
is back. Feelings towards Facebook
Now,
on my behalf.
Here's the tricky
The
part.
Facebook page is
I can't tell
back.
you the exact link at the moment
Now,
because it is really
Here's the
long.
tricky part.
It
can't
starts
tell
off.
you the
It
exact
is
link at the moment
if
because
you
it
look
is
up
really long.
DMP.
It starts
fans.
off. It is
That's
D.
if you look up
DMP
space
fans.
That's
What you guys are.
DMP
with the plural.
You should be able to
space
find it.
Fans. What you guys are
But
with the plural.
the
You should be
URL
able to find
is
it.
not facebook.com/DMP
But
hyphen fans.
The URL
It's
is not
DMP
facebook.com
hyphen
slash
fans
DMP hyphen fans.
with a long
It's
DMP
number
hyphen
after it.
fans.
I am looking to see what I can do
with
to
a
get that
long
changed.
number
after it.
that may take
I
a
am
little
looking
time.
to see
so
what
in
I can
the
do
meantime,
to get that
I
changed.
can't tell you what the link is here.
That may take a little
And
time. So
whenever
whenever
I
I
record
record
this week's show,
I can't tell you what the link is
I won't
here.
be able to say
and
what the link is
whenever
on
I
there
record
either because
this
it will
week's
take me
show,
a while and it's quite
I won't be able to say
crazy.
what the link
But
is
here,
on
I am
there
going to tell you
either
this.
because it will take me
It
a while.
will be
and it's-
in the
it's
show
quite
notes.
crazy.
Wednesday.
But
show.
here I am going to tell you this.
The show notes will
It
have
will
the
be
link
in
to
the
the
show
new
notes
Facebook
of
page
Wednesday
on
show.
there.
I will
The
mention
show
that.
notes will
I
have
will
the
also
link
put it
to
in
the
our
new
Facebook
group
page.
Which
On
that
there.
one I can tell
I
you
will
the
mention
URL.
that. I will also put
which
it
is
in our
facebook.com
facebook.com/group/Disney
that one I
Marvel
can tell you the
Podcast.
URL to, which is
So that is
facebook.com/group/Disney
the group is still going to be
Marvel
hanging around,
Podcast.
but the new focus is going to be on the
So
page.
that
I will
is
put the
the
link
group.
The group
There
is still
I
going to
am
be
now
hanging
sharing
around,
stuff
but the new focus is
from
going to be on the
the
page. I
postings
will put
in
the link on
there
the
I
page
am now sharing
to the
stuff
group. So
from
those on the group,
the
still see it
postings
there.
in
But please,
on the page
join
to the group,
the Facebook
so those
page.
on the group,
If you
still
get
see
around
it
to
there,
seeing the link,
but
click
please,
over,
join
like it, the Facebook page.
hit the little
If you get around to
notification
seeing
thing
the
some
link,
way when you
click
know there's a
over,
notification
like it,
going on.
hit the little
And
notification thing some way when you know
that's
there's
gonna
a
be the primary
notification going on.
I have some other things in the work
And
at the moment. I'm trying to get some
That's
more
going to be the
things
primary
going,
focus.
more of a presence for the
I
show.
have some
going.
other things in the work at the
There
moment.
is going to be
I'm
some
trying to get
changes
some more
to the
things
show.
going.
If you
More
notice,
of a presence
if
for
you're
the show
on,
going.
if you already like the
There
page,
is going to be
the
some
Facebook page, and
changes
you've gone
to
to
the
it,
show.
you've
If you
seen it,
notice,
you may
if you're
realize
on-
that I've
if you already
changed
like
the wording around.
page, the
So
Facebook page,
I-
and you've gone to it,
I'm
you've
gonna
seen
let
it,
you know.
you may realize
going to
that
have
I've
a
changed
bigger
some of the wording
announcement,
around.
but might as well
So
do it on our first live show.
I'm going to let you know. I was going to have a bigger
That
announcement, but
It's
might as
the-
well do
the
it on our
name
first
of the
live
show is
in a
kind
while.
of changing a little bit.
So it's
That-
still going to be
it's-
Disney Marvel's
the
podcast.
name of the show is
But
kind
it's
of
going to be Disney Marvel's podcast.
So it's still going to be Disney
by
Marvel's
fans,
podcast.
for fans.
But it's
We have
going to
a
be
little
Disney
tagline
Marvel's
going on there.
podcast.
So it's by fans,
By
for
fans,
fans. The Disney
for
Marvel's
fans.
podcast.
We have a little tagline going
Or
on there.
and sometimes I'll
So
just
it's by
refer
fans,
to it as
for
DMP,
fans.
Disney Marvel's
DMP
podcast.
fans.
Or and
something
sometimes I'll
along
just refer to it
that
as
line.
DMP
Because
DMP
I want
fans.
to let you
something
know
along
that this show
that line.
is
It's more
because
than just Disney. It's
I
more
want
than
to
just
let
Marvel.
let you know
It
that this
is
show
something
is
that it's more than just Disney.
we're
it's more
doing
than
for
just
you.
Marvel.
and it's making you more part of the show.
We're doing
the show
for you
wouldn't be anything.
And it's
without
making you more part of the show.
And
the show
by putting that
be
into
the title of the show,
and I feel
by putting that into
it's kind of
the
sharing
title of the show,
our thanks.
I feel
and
how much we feel that your presence
it's kind of sharing
really helps make
our
this
thanks,
show what it is,
and how much we feel that
your presence
really helps make this show what it
184
is.
episodes.
We wouldn't be
this one.
184 episodes.
184 episodes.
200 episodes.
This
right
one
around the corner.
This is our 184 episodes. Where has the time gone?
A lot of my
200 episodes
my
is right
friends
around
in
the corner.
the podcast worlds that started around the same time of
A lot of
my friends in the podcast
they've run their
worlds
shows
that started around the same time
and
as us.
their shows have bowed.
They've run their shows,
and I'm grateful that
they gave us
bowed
the time
their
that
shows
they
have
did.
bowed. And we're still going, and that's
grateful
kind
that,
of weird for me.
They gave us
the
kind
time
of
that they
in
did,
retrospect to say,
and we're still going, and that's
but
it's
kind
kind
of
of weird
that
for me
I
to
want to give
kind of
more
in
recognition to you guys,
to
and I
say.
need to do that, and I'm
So,
going to do
but
that.
I
through
feel that I want to give
kind of
more
basically it's a
recognition to
subtitle.
you guys, and I need to do
or
that.
tagline,
I'm going to do that through
log line
for the show.
Kind of basically it's a subtitle
By the fans,
or
for the
tagline
fans, because
log
by
line
us for the show,
for you.
by the fans,
For the
and
fans,
that's
because
my
by us,
way to show more appreciation
for you.
for the time that
And
we get to
that's
spend
my
together.
way to
Again,
show
we
more
may
appreciation
or may not have met
for
the time that we get to spend together.
But
again, we may or may not have
you
met.
are
Part of this family.
but
Some families are rather
You
large
are
and they never
part
really
of this
truly get to
family.
meet everybody. Some families are rather large and they
You are
never
part of this
really
family,
truly get to
and
meet everybody.
I hope to get to meet all of you. You
But
are
in
part
the
of this
meantime,
family.
I
and
just want you to
I
know how
hope
much
to
we
get to meet all of
appreciate
you.
How grateful.
But in the
we
meantime,
are here.
I just
You
want
know,
you
I'm
to know
speaking
how
about
much we
everybody
appreciate you.
on this
How
end of the
grateful
microphone.
we are here.
Well, not
You know,
everybody
I'm
comes to
speaking
this
about
end of the
everybody
microphone. On
Well,
this end of the
I do
this end of the microphone.
I don't share it
Well,
often.
Not everybody comes to this end of the microphone.
And technically,
I
it makes it
do-
very difficult.
I don't share it often.
But everyone on this end of the
Um,
production,
And technically,
Isaac,
it makes it very
Matt,
difficult. My wife Kim,
but everyone on
Dave,
this end of the production,
Emily,
Isaac,
everybody else has
Matt,
been on the show. My wife Kim,
Well,
Dave,
thank you
Emily,
for being
everybody
part of
else has been on the show.
and
So
well, thank you
that's
for being
that's where
part
I
of
have
it on that.
and
So
that's
if there's any other
that's where I
further
have
questions
on
at
that.
this time, please put them in the chat.
so
If not,
if there's
then,
any other further questions at this
thank
time,
you for
please
joining
put 'em
us
in the chat this week.
First
If
live
not,
show back.
then,
Great to be doing the live
thank
shows
you for
again
joining
Saturday
us
night.
this week.
And
First live
we
show
look
back.
forward to
Great to
bringing
be
you
doing the
more
live
next
shows
week.
again Saturday night.
Haven't
And
thought of the
we look
topic
forward
for
to
next week yet.
bringing you
I had a
more
few things
next week.
floating in my head.
Haven't thought of the
We'll
topic
have to
for
see.
next week
Maybe
yet.
we'll do
I
something
had a
Miss
few things
Marvel.
floating in my
Maybe
head.
we'll do.
I'm gonna
We'll
do
have to
following
see.
week
Maybe
Miss
we'll do
Marvel.
something Miss Marvel. Maybe
We can
we'll
always do Miss
do.
Marvel. We can always do a top
I'm
5
gonna
Miss
do
Marvel.
following week Miss Marvel.
I'll
We
let
can
you know.
always do a Miss Marvel. We can
I'll
always
let you
do a
know.
top 5 Miss
Stay
Marvel.
tuned to the. Stay tuned to the
I'll
social
let you know.
networks. I'll let
And
you
we'll
know.
let you know that
Stay
way.
tuned to the. Stay tuned
And,
to the social networks. On
And
that,
we'll let
note.
you know that way.
And on that bombshell.
And
Thank you again for joining in.
on that note.
And I'll see you
And on that bombshell.
next time.
Thank you again for joining in.
Have a good night, everybody.
And I'll see you
Next.